exhale, release. One more. And release. Dear universe and all for the highest vibrational good only, please connect us to our highest self and validate information for our highest good only. Please allow us to release what we need to let go and embrace what allows us to grow. Let our journey encompass the lineages, traditions, religions, and spiritual paths that bring light out through us to share with others. I say all of this in the name of I am. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. And so what I have here is actually just a container of some years ago where I just had this long list of herbs that you could use to cleanse with, and it reminded me of all of the things that we have. So now I'm gonna take this tourmaline. Tourmaline is my favorite stone, and I'm just going to place it all around you. And now the intention here really sweet taste to it, like cinnamon, but it's also low glycemic. So like if you go have a little bit of cinnamon, and you put it in something, you'll notice that it has a sweet taste to it, but it's not the same as sugar. Licorice is like that too. It has that sweet taste to it, but it's not the same as sugar. And I guess now I care a little bit more about how things impact my body than, when you're younger, you're just like, you don't care. Try to have a good time. So I personally would enjoy a licorice smell. I don't think anything is wrong with that. Anything is wrong with that. Like a nice little licorice smell to it. Okay. So I'm going to go back to just place that on the side. And if I can get this mugwort to light, I'll do it. The mugwort is a little bit tough because it is that powder on the bottom. Mugwort is something that I really enjoy using because you can find uses for it both in cleansing, across various cultures. You can find uses for it in cleansing across various cultures, as well as consumption. You can eat it too, both for medicinal reasons or just culinary reasons. And what really got me researching mugwort is I was doing some ancestral work all of last year. And when I got to Korea and started learning about Mugyo and Korean shamanism, I noticed that mugwort was a very important herb that came up. And so it was something that I looked interesting because it added on to not just practicing the esoteric practices and techniques, but also the genealogy, which I think is really important. I mean, you don't know where you're going unless you know where you've been, you know? You know where you're from. You know who you are, so all of that. So I'm gonna take this back to grounding. And, I think that we'll just do a little meditative state. If you know how to channel, you can use this to channel at this time, but we'll just go into a little meditative state in a second to kind of just give you the opportunity to connect on that level. And my favorite thing about retrogrades happens to be that they give us this uninterrupted space to go inward, because as you try to do stuff on the outside, it don't ever work out. But you have this unlimited, infinite amount of energy and space on the inside to explore, to make things work. So especially with Mercury communication inward retrograde, this would be a heightened time to be able to communicate. So if you have a mediumship ability, that ability will be very much so heightened here. If you are someone who has a Mercury in retrograde placement in your chart naturally, you may have noticed that you have this ability to communicate on the other side. And mediumship is essentially when we are communicating with those who have passed on. But there's many forms of communication that one can have. It is not just mediumship. So communicating with your energetic helpers, I call them energetic helpers because, depending on the tradition, the person, and, what they call them different things. They can call them gods, goddesses, angels, spirit guides, guides. Oh, it just depends on your tradition and your background and things like that, and what you connected the most with. So, Orisha, all kinds of names that we give to the energy that is beyond. But this is a great time to be able to communicate with that energy as well too. I actually didn't think that this session was going to get so esoteric, but this is good. So when you communicate with that energy, just know that it is energy that you feel most comfortable with. So if you call the unknown, the universe out there, if you call that God, then it's just like having a conversation with God. If you don't use the word God, you say universe, you say unknown, you say source, you say nothing at all, whatever that is for you. Whatever you feel connected to, the allness of this, all of this stuff, this is the perfect time for that, because the communication will be very great. I will tell you though that if you decide that you would like to commune with your specific ancestors, or energy that is, on the other side, or just energy in general, something that you should not be able to know. And the way that you receive the message is through hearing. What I was experiencing was mediumship through hearing, which technically is a different thing. And of course, these are things that we talk about in the energy healing practitioner apprenticeship and stuff like that. But anyway, back to what I'm saying. And so I had the gift of hearing, and I can't say that it freaked me out. I just felt like it was very inconvenient, and I got to the point in my life, actually before I really started focusing on being a practitioner, that I just told the universe, no, I don't want it. And I know that that's kind of interesting for people, that why would I say no? Because I understood what I could and I could not do. I knew that I could not be in this space helping people heal if I was not in control of my boundaries, both externally and internally. And that gift of hearing was something that I didn't necessarily want or care to have. And so I just let it go. And the day I actually let it go was, I was kind of having this lucid dream. It was the middle of the day, and I started to hear. And then I just, the way that maybe when I was younger, if I would hear, I might be like, I was just like, go away. I was bullying. I was really bossing up there. I was like, go away. I'm telling you to leave, right? And so that's what happened. And I let that go. And I'm not saying that to say cut off your gifts. I'm saying it to say you get to choose. You get to navigate. I'm a living, example that you can still be a practitioner and things like that if you change. And what ended up happening after it is that it developed into something new. And what it developed into was, before I go into a session with clients, I start to sense, especially strongly one-on-one on Reiki sessions, but also during typically attunements and things like that, I start to sense what the person is feeling. And so when I come into the session, I'll typically tell the person, okay, this is what I channeled before this, and this is what came up for you. And I can tap into, okay, this is what their energy feels like. And it took a long time to learn that this was not mine, because when it first started to happen, it would just happen out of the blue. I'd be like, what is this? And I would be feeling it, but I'm like, I don't know what this is. This is not what I'm experiencing in life. And then I would have a session or something like that and realize, like, oh, that's what this is. So I started to learn how to control that well, and it helps as a diagnostic tool when going into the session, to how to help the clients, how to help guide students, and things like that. So if you ever have a session with me or an attunement with me and you're feeling like really, really nervous, and I can feel that. And so typically what I try to do is kind of draw the energy out of that, just take that out and just let it be, will exist, no expectations, and we do what we need to do. So as we're here, I just want you to keep breathing normally at this moment and just feel your wind sinking down into your body, into your core, to your bottom and your legs. And as you exhale, just bring that wind up and release. Again, allow this to sink down into your body, to your limbs, all the way to your feet. Bring that back up and release. Now, get or become one with the feeling that makes you or brings you comfort. Whatever that comforting feeling is, once you catch it, you want to put some wood in the fire for that. And you can allow your deep breaths to guide you deeper into that sense of comfort. If you would like to take shallow breaths, you can do that as well too. So just breathing into this. Release. One more. Release. So in this moment, let's just go to the shadow side of ourselves. And instead of connecting emotionally, let's just kind of hover above it. And I don't want us to just get caught up with what is not going right. I actually want us to take the time to celebrate the healing that we've done up until this point. Even if you kind of stumbled your way through it, still celebrate that healing up until this point. So inhale, exhale, release. Keep breathing here. And I want you to see all of those dark parts that you healed by trying, by showing up, by forgiveness, by overcoming, by taking rest, by moving on, whatever that was. Take another breath. Sometimes you knew how to handle situations and sometimes you didn't. You just kind of fumbled your way through, but you did it. We will always have some bit of shadow work that we are doing, and that is okay. Because the more you feel in control of your life, the more that you have the ability to approach how to heal this stuff. So it's okay if you still have these things. They show up at different times, but you'll know how to navigate them because you've been able to do all of that work up until now. preserve them. What you are releasing is a obligation that no longer applies, and you are now free to try other things. Just understand that that transition can feel lonely at times because your identity is expanding, but it is a necessary shift in order to break that bond and go in a new direction. So don't be nervous or afraid. Trust yourself. Trust the wisdom that shows up in your life, and release and heal. So, right now, during this retrograde period, you will be presented with things, and instead of getting overwhelmed, find where you can release and let go. Find where you can hold space for yourself. Find where your confidence grows, and release everything else. It's not about what other people decide is reality. It is about what you see, you gather, and you decide is reality. So take that on, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to show up for yourself. And it is going to be okay. Okay, babies. I want you to just enjoy the rest of this time. You can stay in this energetic state. I want to leave you with these words, and the words happen to be this. Nothing is truly scary out there, even when you're going through tough times. Nothing is really scary. Because when we acknowledge our power and our ability to be in control of our physical body, our physical reality, and our outlook on life, we change how we perceive things. Fear is only things based off of where we lack. It is based off of our lack response and our lack of feeling and stuff like that. But if we just have compassion for ourselves, regardless if we're feeling fearful of that day or so, if we just have compassion with ourselves, we create something different. When you have fear and you meet it with compassion, you create purpose, you create power. And one might not think that that is how you get purpose and power, but that's how it shows up. It shows up in those ways, and then it starts to build up more and more, amplifying all around you. So during this Mercury and Virgo retrograde cycle, do not let fear overwhelm you. Do not let fear overwhelm you. Embrace the possibility of compassion. Don't push away your feelings. Have compassion towards your feelings. And decide what is your truth, your true reality. And allow others to do the same. You cannot control people, and they cannot control you. Do not give your power away, and do not overly exert your power onto others, projecting. Stay in your body. This is a time to go inside. If you want to channel with ancestors, if you want to channel with energy for guidance and protection and love and stuff like that, feel free to do so now. This is a great time. And if you just want to go inside and rejuvenate, that's beautiful too. I say all this to say, as someone who has studied many practices both on an academic level and in an applied setting, I don't use everything at all times. And with that being said, when there are things that show up like transits and stuff like that, what I do is I just experience life. I don't need to analyze something to understand it. I just experience. I have a session